Witherford.
And I'm Zoe Evans.
And our presentation is going to be analysing the effectiveness of the use of technology in the teaching and learning of English in relation to the national curriculum. We're going to be looking at some of the resources available whilst considering learning theories and current research. So we're going to be looking at digital literacy, which refers to an individual's ability to critically engage with technology, and according to Haig and Payton, it is an important entitlement for pupils in today's ever-growing digital society. Although the traditional methods of reading and writing remain significant in the classroom, teachers must embrace these new technological methods to teaching and learning. So being digitally literate allows both teachers and pupils to utilise a range of opportunities that technology now offers. For example, a class might explore different means of communication using the internet and looking at which methods might be most suitable for a specific reason. It's also crucial that pupils are given opportunities to use technology and the internet safely, and this is highlighted in the computing section of the national curriculum for both Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. So I'm going to be focusing on the use of technology to enhance reading, mainly focusing on e-books and how teachers can utilise these. So one way in which children can read technology is through the use of e-books, which is the digital form of a book-length publication containing mainly text and or images. They can come in a range of file formats, meaning that they can be accessed on a range of devices. So I've created a front cover of a Marvel comic book and listed some of the strengths and limitations. So for example, there's a range of themes and characters to choose between, which means children are more likely to enjoy creating their stories. However, one of the negatives to this is that they're locked behind a cost, most of the content. So some of the benefits of reading using technology over paper are the inclusive tools available. So for example, the option to translate text to another language can be beneficial for pupils with English as an additional language. The text-to-speech tool can also act as an enabler for auditory learners, pupils with dyslexia or visual impairments. And these both are an important section of the national curriculum, which states that lessons should be planned to ensure that there are no barriers to every pupil achieving. Most e-books also come with a built-in dictionary, meaning that children can instantly look up definitions, so it's acting as a scaffolder for independent learning, rather than the physical copy, which may require the prompt from a teacher to use. So this links to Piaget's constructivism theory and his idea that children are lone scientists constructing their own knowledge rather than from their experiences rather than the teacher. It's also a statutory requirement in the national curriculum for teachers to facilitate the motivation for reading in pupils, starting from year 1 all the way up to year 6. So the National Literacy Trust Survey in 2012 found that 52% of children aged 8 to 16 preferred reading on screen, and it was also found that those whose motivation had risen for reading as a result of e-books rose from 33% to 49% in 2010 to 2012. So this clearly shows the rapid growth of the use of technology and suggests that through empowering e-books in the classroom, children are more likely to enjoy reading. There are, however, some concerns over using technology for reading. So, for example, one study in 2013 found that participants were making less of a mental effort when they're reading, and they were taking shortcuts, so for example by scanning for keywords or phrases. Another study found that when reading on print, participants were found to have actually understood and learned what they had read, and they were able to recall the information much faster, whereas those who read on print had to mentally search for what they had read, and so they were said to have just remembered it. Another major concern, as Grayson points out, is the amount of screen time that children are having. So the National Literacy Trust Survey also found that 5 to 15-year-olds are spending an average of 14 hours per week behind a screen, and this is a major concern for parents. And the NHS has stressed this is leading to a lack of concentration, resulting in headaches, stress and disturbed sleep in children.
So with blogs, a blog is a type of online diary or journal made so that an audience can see it. And some of the most common ways teachers and students use them are listed here, but we're focusing on the class blog. So with making a blog, there are a large number of websites that give you details about blogs, how to make blogs, and where you can actually create a blog online. And we looked at edublogs, creating an example of a blog. And we found that there were some benefits to using this website, such as having a tutorial option to show you how to use the site, a featured post sections where you can comment on other people's work and look at what they've talked about, and an accessibility toolbar where you can change font size, so it helps for students that have a visibility impairment. However, with that website, there was the concern that it wouldn't load on the registration part, so it might not be as effective in the classroom if it doesn't end up working. And learning through connectivism links into blogging because it's about users sharing information and then other users learning from this information. So if someone posts a blog online about a certain topic, then other people can look at those types of blogs and then learn from this. Some of the benefits of educational blogging are communication skills and conversation improved, children writing for a purpose, they can learn about the world around them, it can be used in a cross-curricular approach, there's a chance for creativity exploring a range of topics through the blogs, and there's direct links to students where they can talk about themselves in school, so that it's appealing and it makes them more interested in working. All of these benefits link to the national curriculum, such as the communication skills and conversation improved through how parents can get involved in their child's work, from viewing their blogs at home and initiating conversations with their child about what they've posted, as well as comments made on the blog, initiating conversation in the classroom. There's also the benefits of organisation skills being shown and developed. It's useful for critical thinking and developing independency, and stress-free environment for working on literacy skills with progression being easy to monitor as they're posting regular blogs online. And useful for critical thinking, developing independency can be related to the national curriculum, as they could be evaluating and assessing each other's work through looking at certain blog posts and assess the effectiveness of their own blogs that they've posted online before, so showing the development they've made over time. So with statistics, on these reports it's shown that young people read more online, making blogging a more ideal form of work, as they can then read the work online at home and make any improvements maybe. And some children also already know how to use a blog, as 24% stated that they have their own blog already. So it'd be easy to bring blogs into school, as they would already know what to do. They could easily go around the website. The reports also support the benefits stated beforehand, as it stated that it makes it easier to it's connected to enjoyment of writing and confidence in writing. And then some concerns of educational blogging are online safety, as there could be negative or inappropriate comments, and there could be cyberbullying online, so this would have to be addressed and rules would need to be put into place. Screen time is a concern, as this is one of the main parenting concerns. Handwriting and spelling could deteriorate, as it's not focused on that, as they're not writing anything out in their books and they're not focusing on spelling since it comes up with directions where you've spelled something wrong. And blogging, so overall blogging would need to be monitored.
So, as a conclusion, children need to be given opportunities to develop their skills using digital literacy. So it would be irresponsible for teachers to deny children of this in today's digital world. And it's the teacher's responsibility to make suitable decisions depending on the circumstances and needs of their class. And they should be creating a variety of literacy lessons containing both digital and physical resources and methods for learning.
And to conclude on blogging, it can be an extremely beneficial and effective tool to use in the classroom, with the large number of benefits it has compared to the amount of concerns, and the links to the national curriculum that it has. As long as they're handled appropriately, with risks being assessed and rules being implemented, blogs would overall be an effective and useful tool to apply in improving literacy skills.